Hey, I'm Erica from America. I am a Google data scientist turned financial coach. I help people in tech who feel trapped in golden handcuffs to reach financial freedom. Today, I'm going to talk about how my husband and I reached COSFI. COSFI is a term in the financial independence retire early community where you front load your investments early on and then you pause your retirement savings if you want to and let that amount of money that you had previously invested to grow and compound over time, so then when you hit the traditional retirement age of 65, you'll have plenty for retirement. My husband and I reached COSFI in our 20s. I know, right? But then we actually didn't think much of it. It wasn't until I went on YouTube and found a financial influencer named Andy Hill who was interviewing people who reached COSFI, and then I realized it was a huge deal because on his channel, people were doing amazing things. People were paying off their mortgage early. They were quitting their day jobs and becoming entrepreneurs. And it was only until I saw that I realized it's a huge deal. So, how did me and my husband get to COSFI in our 20s? The first answer to that question, for me specifically, is privilege. So, my parents paid for my college tuition. I also got scholarships and I did work study. So, I did work when I was in college. So, that also contributed to it. I also went to a name brand school. I went to University of Pennsylvania, also known as UPenn, and I went to their Wharton Undergrad School of Business. And so I was lucky to be able to study something where the skills I developed in college were in demand, and I was able to leverage my education to get my first job outside of college. Also, the first job outside of college was developing an in demand skill in marketing analytics, and I was able to leverage that first internship opportunity at a smaller company to interview for a larger company, Salesforce, which I eventually got into. Also, another thing that helped me in my journey to getting to COSFI is my first year outside of college when I was working on my internship, I got to stay at home and live at home. And so that was a huge privilege, and I'm very grateful that my parents were able to let me stay with them and save a lot of money that first year. Additionally, after I joined Salesforce, I had to live in San Francisco so that it would be close to that company. And so I was lucky as well to be able to live with 5 other women in a Catholic women's house. And I was so fortunate to live there because one, it was a great sense of community, but also our landlord and landlady were very lovely people, and they were able to give us a discount in staying there. And so we lived in San Francisco, but we didn't pay market prices for San Francisco. So that was a huge privilege. Now, for my husband, he went to UC Berkeley and he was able to work throughout his college career. So he did work study, he also worked at a local theater, and so he was able to graduate with fewer student loans. Also, he lived with family after he graduated from college, and that was also a huge privilege, and he was able to save a lot of money that way as well. So my husband worked at a Catholic school as a teacher his first year outside of college. He wasn't making a lot, but because he lived with family, he was able to save a significant amount of money. Afterwards, he went on to work at Kumon. He eventually worked as the center manager for some time, and then he got a referral to work at Facebook. I will also note that I also got a referral when I applied to Salesforce. So, in that sense, referrals are really huge when you're job searching, and we were very privileged to be able to get referrals and get our foot in the door that way. And that's not to say that we didn't work hard. We both work really hard in our careers, and um, we spent less than what we made, and we were able to save up a lot and reach Coast Fi in our 20s. What questions do you have about Coast Fire? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll be sure to get to them. Thank you. Until next time, bye.